Well, winter is coming. Hello and welcome to Rust Locker. Yeah, I'm out just enjoying the last few days of sunshine before the winter proper sets in. In this video I'm going to be refurbishing the hardtop, fitting a hardtop spoiler, showing you how to do that. Hope you enjoy. Stay tuned to the end. So the hardtop is out. Ideally what I want to do to this is fill the chips and the bad paint and repaint the hardtop. I have actually got a hardtop spoiler in the post on its way to me, so I'm going to start the prep on this and get a bit done. When the spoiler gets here I'll be able to then fit that and then do the final sort of spraying and making good. So this is what I'm up to at the moment. What I'm going to do first is, I mean, this hardtop used to be red, you can see in between there. So the first thing I'm going to do, I think I've sanded down this lip to get it fairly smooth. What I'm going to do is mask it off so that I'm just going to paint this lip and in these grooves first, and then flip it over, and then I can do all the rest of it in one go then. I just haven't got the room to be able to do it all at once, so I'm going to have to do it sort of stage by stage. Okay, so the weather is really screwing me, so I'm trying to do the hard top in here, making a big old mess in the shed. But yeah, so basically I'm just there was no real heavy damage, but there were a lot of little chips and scratches and stuff, so I've just been going over that with some knifing putty. Where are we? Some of this, because they're not too deep, I'm not going to use fiberglass filler or anything like that, just a little bit of this and then sand it down, just fixing up those little chips and dents. Alright, well, something is going my way because the hardtop spoiler just arrived. Okay, so this, well, I mean, this literally is just a piece of fiberglass that's been shaped. There's nothing else about it whatsoever. But I think it kind of fits over the seal like that. Something like that. But if it does, that is cool, because I actually have a bit of a fucked seal here where the mirror's coming out, where the window's coming out from the seal. I don't know what happened here, but it's got messed up somehow. So if this spoiler actually does sit on that and cover that, that's going to solve another problem, which will be good. But as to how this fits, I'll tell you what though. The finish, this gel coat finish on this fiberglass is very nice. Really attracts dust very quickly. But if you want a black spoiler, or you've got a black car, you could pretty much just put this on and not even bother painting it. I might not even bother painting it, to be fair. I don't know if the job I'm going to do on the hardtop would be as glossy and as shiny as this anyway. But don't know, I'll think about that whilst I work out how this fits. But little quick update on the rest of it. Just been sanding it down, trying to get it smooth and remove those chips basically. Going to carry on with that for a while, work out how to fit this spoiler, and I might blend it in. I don't know, I'll see how it looks. Right, so at the moment I've got the spoiler taped down into position. I'm following the instructions that they gave me, and it says to tape it down with strong tape to hold it in position. And then what you need to do is actually glue it up and underneath along the seam line under there. So that's what I'm about to do now. So what I'm using is actually called Master Seal Speed Bond. Now apparently this is better than Tiger Seal. I don't know, I've never used this. I've used Tiger Seal before and it was pretty good, but I thought I'd give this brand a go as well. And I've just treated myself to this Hardcore silicone gun, which has got two different modes, 16:1 and 8:1 ratio. I'm just sick of buying these cheap ones from B&Q and Homebase. I've bought so many of these over the years, they just don't have the ratcheting strength to push very well. They do your hands in, they get knackered quite easy. So I treated myself to this bad boy, heavyweight Tajima, the Convoy RS, if anyone's interested. Back outside now, and what I've done is I've attached the hardtop spoiler. What I did was, let me just grab the thing. Well, what I did essentially was I had to get this right up in there and run a line as high up as I could get, which was kind of a bit messy, and it's very difficult to sort of get, like my fingers are quite fat, so it's very difficult to get my finger up in there to smooth the line across. So what I actually did, I ended up using a pencil with a rubber on the end, and I stuck the pencil up there and I kind of drew, you know, sort of shape to the silicone. You can't see it very well at all. There's not a lot I can do about that, but essentially, yeah, you get your stuff, you run a line of it up and underneath there, and then that actually holds it from the underside, and it does quite a good job. It's actually really solid and not going to go anywhere. There's a little bit of wobble there because it's super difficult to get the nozzle in that gap there, you see what I mean? So what I'm going to do anyway is I'm going to get some fiberglass resin, and I'm just going to run a drip of it all the way along this edge, so that's going to kind of glue it from the top as well. I think if your hardtop is already painted and you just wanted to glue this spoiler on, it's definitely possible, and the finish was good enough for you to just stick it on and go. But because I was refurbishing the whole hardtop and sanding it down and fixing it, I thought what I'll do is I'll put this on and make sure it never goes anywhere, blend it all in and paint over it so it's all matching and all looks good. So the next thing I'm going to do is get some fiberglass resin along here and then sand it all down smooth. Okay, so I just mixed up my fiberglass resin and hardener using this syringe. This syringe is going to be knackered after this anyway, and I think I'm just going to gently run a little bead along the inside or the outside seam here. Hopefully it's going to run down inside there and join it together and sand down smooth, hopefully. Okay, that plan didn't quite go as well as I thought it would. I ended up smearing it and spreading it, and I just went a bit crazy. So it doesn't matter, I'm going to let all this dry, and then with some sandpaper I can knock all this back and smooth it out. This is going to be a little bit longer, but at least I know this will be on solid and it all will be blended in. So I'm going to let this dry, sand it off, try and blend it in, mask off the last little bits and pieces that I need to do, and then it's going to be ready for some primer. Okay, so the fiberglass in is all done. I've put resin in along this line here and then sanded it down to try and blend it in and make it look as smooth as possible. My advice is, if you're going to do this, be a bit more accurate than I was. Don't blob it in like I did, because it takes absolutely ages to sand it down. I'm going to get this cleaned off now. I'm going to shoot some primer over it, and then that will show me if there's any more imperfections that I need to sort out around here and anywhere else. So I'm going to get this wiped down, give it a wipe down with alcohol, and then hit it with primer and see where we're at. Okay, so that has actually shown up absolutely loads more little bits and pieces to fill and sand and fix. So yeah, things like this. I don't know how I missed these when I was doing the filler, but I spent ages repairing this section here, and I don't think it's new, but I'll fix up all these little bits again. I think the top though is not too bad, a few chips and things around these bits, so back to the drawing board on that. But I think I'm just going to give it one more round of filler and sanding before I call it quits and just put up with some imperfections. So yeah, back to the filler. See that? That is the sun. It's bloody cold, but at least the sun's out and it's dry, so I'm cracking on with the hardtop again. I've gone round probably for about the 5th or 6th time just filling in little bits and pieces, re-primered over the areas that I've been sanding down. I think I'm almost ready for colour now. Just going to let this primer that I've just put around there dry. I might need to give it another light sand and a wipe down, and then I can get some black on it. Okay, so I'm hitting it up with some colour. I'm giving this a try, monofill colour match. Can't remember, I got this MX5 parts, I think. This is a different brand to what I had before. But I'm just starting to put a little bit of colour down. Did underneath the spoiler first because I needed all the pressure from the gas to go upside down. Now I'm rubbish at painting, so I'm just going to crack on with it and kind of do it the best I can, really. Right, well, it's black. I really don't know what I'm doing with bodywork. I do my best, but at the moment it is black. It needs another wipe down. Then I'm going to hit it with some clear coat and just hope for the best, really. The finish isn't the best, but it's a lot better than it was. From a distance, it's looking good, so that's good enough for me. So there we are. Colour is on, clear lacquer is on, and I've given it a quick buff and polish. The finish isn't great, but it wasn't really orange peely, so I just decided to use cutting compound instead of colour sanding. I don't know if that was the right choice or not, but I think it looks alright. I'll show you out in the sun in a minute, but I'm pretty happy with that for a garden job. So of course it's been raining for bloody ages, but I've dried it off so that you can see it in the sunlight, and as you can see, it's not a bad finish at all, considering I painted this in my garden and in my shed. It's actually, I mean, it's on a par with the rest of the paintwork, so, and it's a lot better than it was. And blended the spoiler in almost seamlessly. Just missed a little bit here in the corner, but that's not too bad. I could feel that maybe if I'm that bothered about it. But on the whole, that came out pretty well. Right, jumping back into the van now because it's pretty noisy and cold outside. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way that hardtop's turned out for a garden slash shed rattle can spray job. It's turned out pretty well. It's at least comparable to the paint on the rest of the car now, so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. It looks quite good. It's actually probably one of the better pieces of paint that's on the car. That spoiler, I highly recommend it. It is just a piece of fiberglass, but it fits almost perfectly. Run a little bead of body kit adhesive, Tiger Seal, Master Seal, whatever, and I think it will fit your hardtop pretty well, without needing any paint if you didn't want to, if you were careful with it. And then of course I blended it in, but that's because I was refurbing the whole hardtop. So anyway, enough waffling. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you'll give me a like if you did. Leave me a comment down below if you want, and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you on the next one.